Welcome, students, families, coaches, teachers, and friends. I'm Alex Mena, Miami Herald sports editor, and on behalf of the Miami Herald Media Company, welcome to the 2020 Miami Herald Virtual Athletic Awards. Today, we will be honoring and recognizing Miami-Dade and Broward County's top athletes for the 2019-2020 school year. As you know, we're all having to do things a little unconventionally this year. Well, social distancing is the norm, but in deference to a tradition that dates back more than 60 years, we weren't going to let anything, even a global pandemic, stop us from recognizing the most remarkable high school athletes and coaches in South Florida. Before we continue with our program, I would like to thank our wonderful longtime partners, the Orange Bowl Committee, who have a long history of supporting youth sports in South Florida, and Baptist Health, South Florida's Miami Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, who take care of the Miami Heat, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, and FIU athletic teams. This team has helped countless athletes return to their sport, and today, they salute you, our athletes, for your great work.
It took what seemed like seconds to humble us. A singular moment in time when we all faced that same uncertainty. And we all focused on one goal.
Critical care nurse at Baptist Health, South Florida, just urging you guys to please stay home.
What once mattered didn't seem so important anymore. What was old became new again. What was lost was rediscovered. And we affirm that what matters the most is, in fact, our health.
I want to say thank you for all that you're doing, keeping all of us healthy.
And now strength means something different. Heroism has been redefined, reminding us that crisis doesn't build character, it reveals it. So to all those who continue to take such good care of us, thank you.
Keep caring, live healthy, stay strong. Baptist Health. When you need us, we're ready to continue caring for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Vijek, orthopedic surgeon and medical director for Miami-Dade County Public School System. Welcome to our first ever virtual athletic awards ceremony. On behalf of Miami Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute and Baptist Health South Florida, I appreciate the opportunity to join the Miami Herald as we honor this year's outstanding group of student athletes. While it is disappointing that we are not celebrating with you in person, there is one thing that I have learned from treating professional, collegiate, and high school athletes for many years, and that is during these challenging times, athletes rise above adversity. COVID-19 may have changed our lives and interrupted sports seasons, but it has not diminished our love of sports, nor has it transformed the essence of what has made each of you talented athletes. I have seen many of you in action. I've seen some of you come back from injury and return to your elite level. I have seen firsthand your persistence, dedication, and tenacity. I know that nothing will stop you from reaching your goals as you venture forward. The work you have put in on the field, on the court, in swimming pools, and in gyms will serve you well. Sports has taught you patience, discipline, teamwork, and sportsmanship. These are all very valuable lessons for both life and also dealing with the pandemic. While your lives may be temporarily on hold, your determination and spirit are not. I know you are focused and ready to take the challenges ahead, and we know you will. Congratulations from all of us on your outstanding achievements. Keep playing, keep working, and stay healthy.
Joining me as your ceremony host today is Miami Herald sports columnist Greg Cody. Many of you know and follow Greg from all his reporting throughout the years. Greg has welcomed us into his home as we enter your home to recognize your efforts today.
Thank you, Alex. So go ahead, sit back, put your feet up, and enjoy the program. We're so glad you could join us. The Miami Herald's All-County Athletic Awards originated in 1957. Since then, we have built a heritage of supporting and encouraging academic and athletic excellence and celebrated many Miami-Dade and Broward High School stars who've gone on to achieve greatness. Over the years, we have honored more than 17,000 all-county athletes in Miami-Dade and Broward counties. Each of you helps us continue that tradition. We thank you, we salute you, and we hope that this day will be another special memory of your high school years. You, your families, and your schools should be very proud. Athletes, if you had not performed in the classroom, you would not have had the opportunity to perform on the field, the court, the pool, or the track. It is a privilege to celebrate your achievements. Today, we will honor the best scholar athletes in South Florida, athletes who excelled in the classroom. We'll salute Miami-Dade and Broward's Players of the Year, recognize the county's finest high school coaches who inspired their athletes, and finally, we will award the best of the best. At the end of the program, we will announce the winners of the coveted Male and Female Athlete of the Year trophies. Any All-Miami-Dade and Broward athlete is automatically eligible for these awards. You don't have to have been the Player of the Year in any sport to win the Athlete of the Year trophy. As we continue with our program, our social media team will be liking, retweeting, and regramming your tagged posts today. So use hashtag 2020 Herald Sports and share your best photos, posts, and tweets. We want to begin by recognizing the 24 teams that have brought back state championships. Here's a roll call of champions. This list likely would have been a lot longer under normal circumstances. Unfortunately, our spring sports teams were not able to complete their seasons, with the FHSAA canceling the final months of the athletic calendar due to the COVID-19 pandemic. More than 2,000 student athletes in Miami-Dade and Broward weren't able to have that final game, match, or meet. That senior day ceremony where they say a formal goodbye. That last chance for a playoff push or ultimately a state title. To those seniors, we're sorry you did not get the proper farewell on the field, but we're still so proud of what you accomplished. And we want to thank you, all of you, for your contributions both on the field and in the classroom. Here is the list of spring seniors. Another key supporter of our awards program is the Orange Bowl. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to hear a few words from them.
Created in 1935 with a mission of generating tourism for South Florida, the Orange Bowl Committee, with partner support, has evolved to become so much more. In addition to the hundreds of millions of dollars generated by the Capital One Orange Bowl for the local economy, The committee has invested nearly $27 million over the last 10 years in youth sports, community, and academic programs, and legacy gifts. Orange Bowl continues to positively impact South Florida. This is who we are. To learn more, visit orangebowl.org.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff Rubin, and I am President and Chair of the Orange Bowl Committee. Congratulations to each of you on your athletic achievements. It's possible that the Orange Bowl Committee has already contributed to your success. Perhaps you've played in the Orange Bowl International Tennis Championship or the Doral Publix International Golf Championship. Or, like NFL stars and former Miami-Dade County and Broward County all-county running back Sony Michel and Devonta Freeman, your football career began in the Orange Bowl Youth Football Alliance. Or maybe someday, you'll play in the Capital One Orange Bowl, like former all-county players Dalvin Cook with Florida State and Jerry Jeudy with Alabama, both of whom are now NFL players. You could be the MVP of the Orange Bowl Basketball Classic, like former Miami-Dade County and Heat Player of the Year, James Jones. Or maybe some of you participated in, or will participate in, the Orange Bowl Florida High School Showcase, which in its first 3 years has generated over $3 million in financial aid for over nearly 200 local football players. Others may have or will participate in the Orange Bowl Track, Swim, or Lacrosse Classics. For 87 years, the Orange Bowl Committee has been promoting and serving the South Florida community through economic development, youth sports, events and programs, and academics and scholarships, and legacy gifts, including the revitalization of parks you've played in, like Miami's Moore Park, Miami-Dade County's Ives Estates Park, Fort Lauderdale's Carter Park, Homestead's Harris Field Park, and Belle Glade's Pioneer Park. It's your support of our events, such as the Capital One Orange Bowl, that enables us to give back to the community. Congratulations once again to all the honorees.
And now it's time to recognize the all-county student athletes. Athletes will be introduced by sport. At the end of the sports roll call, the Players of the Year for both Dade and Broward counties will be announced. Once we finish recognizing individual sports, we will transition to our Showcase Awards, the Major Sports and All Sports Awards, the Don Shula Coaches of the Year, newly named this year in honor of the legendary Miami Dolphins coach who passed away on May 4th at age 90, and the overall Athletes of the Year.
Being a student athlete is more than winning in a given sport. These scholars learn about commitment, teamwork, and perseverance, all of which honestly prepares them for the journey ahead. They excel not only on the field, but in the classroom as well. Now let's meet the 2019-2020 Scholar Athletes. First up, the girls Scholar Athletes for Miami-Dade. And this year's winner is, well, she's a two-time first-team all-county member for soccer and helped her team to a state runner-up finish in 2018. She scored a 33 on her ACT and is on her way to the University of Michigan. The Girls Scholar Athlete of the Year from Miami-Dade is Miami Country Days' Sophia Benenson. Next up, here are the Miami-Dade Boys Scholar Athletes. And now for this year's winner. Not only was he a four-time state champion, but he's also graduating in the top 10% of his class. Had a 4.25 GPA and scored a 1320 on his SAT. He's going to the University of Iowa. Our Miami-Dade Boys Scholar Athlete of the Year is South Dade's Bradley Reyna. Well done, Bradley.
Now let's introduce Girls Scholar Athletes for Broward. She's not only a 7-time individual state champion in cross country and track and field, but she also has a 1440 on her SAT and is graduating with a perfect 4.0 GPA. Next up, Princeton University. The Girls Scholar Athlete of the Year for Broward County is Pinecrest's Sion Yared. And to round out our Scholar Athlete Awards, let's introduce the Broward Boys Scholar Athletes. Our Broward Boys Scholar Athlete of the Year epitomized balance in both his athletic and academic achievements. He's a 2-time first-team All-County member in both football and basketball, leading the football team to a playoff appearance this year and serving as part of back-to-back state champion basketball teams, the first 2 state titles in the sport in his school's history. In the classroom, he scored a 29 on the ACT and is a member of Mentoring Tomorrow's Leaders. Our Broward County Boys Scholar Athlete of the Year is Stranahan's Dave Herald. And now, we'll move over to winter sports, starting with Dade cheerleading. Next up, Broward cheerleading. For this sport, we award Coaches of the Year. Our first of 2 Miami-Dade cheerleading Coaches of the Year led her squad to yet another state title and continues to pile up hardware. It's St. Brendan's Arlene Suarez. Our second Miami-Dade Cheerleading Coach of the Year's team made history. It was not only the first cheerleading title for the school, it was also the first state title in any sport in the school's history. Our second Dade Cheerleading Coach of the Year is LaSalle's Coral Buxeda. For Broward, our Coach of the Year led her team to a Class 2A state title in the large non-tumbling division. It's West Broward's Danielle Culbertson. We'll now move on to wrestling, where Dade and Broward had 6 teams finish in the top 10 at state in their respective class. First up, our Broward County first team members. Our Miami-Dade first-team wrestlers include Broward County had 2 state champions, so it's only fitting that they share our Wrestler of the Year honors. Our co-award winners are Somerset Academy's Bas Diaz and Sean Concepcion. We'll also be doubling up our Wrestlers of the Year in Miami-Dade. Our first Wrestler of the Year from the county went a perfect 68-0 in the 113-pound division and capped his freshman season with a Class 3A state title. It's Southwest's Danny Martinez. The second went 50-3 and closed out his senior year with a Class 3A title in the 145-pound division for his 4th state title. It's South Dade's Brentley Reyna. Our Broward Wrestling Coach of the Year had to maneuver his way through the always stacked Class 3A division and still managed to get 6 players to the state championship, even in a region with Miami-Dade powerhouses, South Dade and Southwest. Our Broward Wrestling Coach of the Year is Cypress Bay's Alan Held. Our Dade Wrestling Coach of the Year keeps building his dynasty. The running tally is at 7 consecutive state championships. Our Dade Wrestling Coach of the Year is South Dade's Vic Balmaceda.
Hi everyone, my name is Jonathan Vilma, member of the Orange Bowl Committee and a proud member of Miami Herald's All-Miami-Dade County football team in 1999. The Orange Bowl is extremely proud of all of your athletic and academic achievements throughout the years. Congratulations, and we know you will continue to do great things. At this time, the Orange Bowl is honored to present our first Lifetime Achievement recipient, Cardinal Gibbons wrestling coach Frank Pedineo. For 33 years, Frank kept the Chiefs among the state's top wrestling programs with 32 consecutive district titles from 1989 to 2020, along with 20 Broward County championships and 5 state team championships, most recently in 2014. Frank's career record is a whopping 1,010 wins against just 57 losses. The Chiefs have had 29 individual state champions and 34 state runner-ups under his watch. Mr. Pedineo is also an inductee into the NCAA Division III Hall of Fame, the USA Wrestling Hall of Fame, the Florida Athletic Coaches Association Hall of Fame, the Broward County Athletic Hall of Fame, and the Broward County Coaches Hall of Fame. Man, what a career. Congratulations, Frank. Everyone, the winner of the Broward County Lifetime Achievement Award presented by the Orange Bowl is presented to Cardinal Gibbons, Frank Pedineo.
Now let's move on to Class 4A, 2A girls soccer. First, from Miami-Dade. And from Broward County. This senior tallied 11 goals and 8 assists while playing a key role in advancing her team to the Class 3A state championship match. Our Miami-Dade 4A, 2A Girls Soccer Player of the Year is Carrollton's Ana Diaz-Silveira. In Broward, this sophomore had a knack for finding the back of the net. She scored 28 goals, tallied 8 assists as her team reached the Class 4A title game. Our Broward 4A, 2A Girls Soccer Player of the Year is Cardinal Gibbons' Sydney Polivka. His team went 16-3, reached the Class 2A championship, and ended the year ranked the number 9 team in the state by Max Preps. The Miami-Dade 4A, 2A Girls Soccer Coach of the Year is Carrollton's Eric Vasquez. For Broward, she guided her team back to the state championship game and had another stellar season with an 18-4-4 overall record. Our Broward 4A, 2A Girls Soccer Coach of the Year is Cardinal Gibbons' Margot Flack. We'll stick with girls soccer for our next set of awards, this time honoring those who competed in classes 7A, 5A. First up, from Broward County. And from Miami-Dade. Two players will be sharing the Broward Player of the Year award here. First up, a senior who scored 17 goals and added 9 assists as one of the main contributors to her team's first girls state soccer title It's Archbishop McCarthy's Jordan Pitter. Second is a junior who was a menace on the attack. She scored 32 goals and added 13 assists as her team reached the Class 7A title game. It's Cypress Bay's Megan Morgan. Our Miami-Dade 7A, 5A Girls Player of the Year is a senior and University of Miami signee who once again was one of the county's most prolific scorers. She found the back of the net 30 times, added 11 assists to lead her team to a state title for the second time in 3 years. Our Miami-Dade 7A, 5A Girls Soccer Player of the Year is Lourdes Academy's Mia Atrio. Our Broward 7A, 5A Girls Soccer Coach of the Year finally got the ending his team had been looking for, a state title. They were a force to be reckoned with in Class 5A, the third best team in the country according to Max Prep rankings. They went 22-1-2 on the year and housed the state championship when it was all said and done. For that, the Broward Class 7A, 5A Girls Soccer Coach of the Year is Archbishop McCarthy's Mike Sika. Let's stay on the pitch and move to our boys soccer teams. First up, the top players from classes 4A, 2A, from Miami-Dade. And from Broward. Our Miami-Dade 4A, 2A Boys Soccer Player of the Year is a junior who scored 24 goals for his state championship winning team. It's Gulliver Prep's Sebastian Paz. Our Broward 4A, 2A Boys Soccer Player of the Year is also a senior, also a state champion, and was a central piece to his team's success with 14 goals and 32 assists. It's University School's Sebastian Smith. It's only fitting that our coaches of the year for classes 4A, 2A are the two who guided their teams to those state titles. For Miami-Dade, that's Gulliver Prep's Chris Bart Williams. For Broward, it's Tiago Oliveira from University School. To close out soccer, it's time for the top players from classes 7A, 5A. First, from Broward County. And now, from Miami-Dade. This senior was one of Broward County's best this season. He scored 30 goals and helped his team reach the Class 5A championship, where they fell just short of a state title. The Broward County 7A, 5A Boys Soccer Player of the Year is Pembroke Pines Charter's Ashton Cooper. Our Miami-Dade Class 7A, 5A Boys Soccer Player of the Year is a junior who scored 23 goals, tallied 12 assists to help his team reach the Class 6A Regional Finals. It's Doral Academy's Matias Cavallo. So close, yet so far. Our Broward 7A, 5A co-coaches of the year guided their teams to state title games only to come one win away from the championship. The first pulled off upset wins against St. Thomas Aquinas, Doral Academy, and George Jenkins to get to the Class 6A title game. It's South Broward's Lionel Brown. The second was the number 5 seed in its region, won 2 games on the road to start the playoffs and clinched a trip to the state championship on penalty kicks. It's Pembroke Pines Charter's Nicholas Lou Young. We also have co-coach of the year honors in Miami-Dade. They helmed the county's top teams in Class 7A. They are Regan's Andres Vidales and Coral Reef's Rios Diego. Let's now move from the pitch to the hardwood. First up, our girls basketball first teamers in classes 4A, 2A in Miami-Dade. And in Broward. This junior filled up the stat sheet, averaging 24.4 points, 5.1 rebounds, 4.1 assists, and 5.3 steals per game as she helped her team reach the Class 4A regional finals. Our Miami-Dade 4A, 2A Girls Basketball Player of the Year is Keys Gates Amare Hunter. This junior averaged 17.1 points and 6 rebounds per game to lead her team to a Class 3A regional final appearance. Our Broward 4A, 2A Girls Basketball Player of the Year is Westminster Academy's Emma Walhoff. It was a rare down season for this school. They only reached the state semifinals after winning a record 6 consecutive state titles. The Miami-Dade 4A, 2A Girls Basketball Coach of the Year is Miami Country Day's Oshil Suave. In Broward, this team put up a 25-4 record and reached the state Final Four. The 4A, 2A Girls Basketball Coach of the Year is Cardinal Gibbons' Kevin Gordon. Next will be our classes 7A, 5A Girls Basketball top performers. From Broward. And from Miami-Dade. These two juniors were virtually unstoppable this year. They combined to average 29.3 points, 29.9 rebounds, and 7.4 blocks to lead their team to a state title. Broward's 7A, 5A Girls Basketball Co-Players of the Year are American Heritage's Talia and Tatiana Weish. This senior averaged a double-double this season, putting up 13.4 points and 10.8 rebounds per game. Probably more meaningful, her team finally broke through and won the state title that was oh so close the 2 years beforehand. The 7A, 5A Girls Basketball Player of the Year is Miami High's Colleen Buckner. Our Broward 7A, 5A Girls Basketball Coach of the Year went 28-6 on the season, fielded one of the country's top 50 teams, and won it all in Class 6A. It's Blanche Ely's J.R. McNabb. A 27-5 record, another district title, another state championship appearance, and this time, a state championship. The 7A, 5A Girls Basketball Coach of the Year is Miami High's Samuel Baumgarten. We'll wrap up our winter sports by honoring the area's top boys basketball players. First up, the best in the 4A, 2A division. From Miami-Dade, that includes and our Broward representatives are our Miami-Dade 4A, 2A Boys Basketball Player of the Year is a senior who averaged 20.9 points, 7.3 rebounds per game while leading his team to the regional finals in a stacked Region 4 4A. It's Gulliver Prep's Tony Sanders. Our Broward 4A, 2A Boys Basketball Player of the Year is a senior who averaged 17.5 points and 9.1 rebounds per game and helped lead his team to a Class 3A state semifinal appearance. It's Chaminade Madonna's Andre Weir. Our Miami-Dade 4A, 2A Boys Basketball Coach of the Year is the only one to guide a Miami-Dade team to the state final for this year. His team went 20-9 and was a top contender in Class 2A. Our Miami-Dade 4A, 2A Boys Basketball Coach of the Year is Schoolhouse Prep's Colin Campbell. Our 4A, 2A Broward Boys Basketball Coach of the Year once again defied the odds to lead his team to a second consecutive state championship. It's Stranahan's Terrence Williams. Last but not least, for winter sports, our Class 7A, 5A boys basketball recognition. The Broward list consists of and from Miami-Dade, our Broward 7A, 5A Boys Basketball Player of the Year is a senior guard who averaged 17.9 points per game and was the leading scorer for his Class 5A state runner-up team. It's Pembroke Pines Charter's Dallas Graziani. Just about any one of our 6 Miami-Dade first-teamers could have been the 7A, 5A Player of the Year. But the winner is this senior guard who averaged 31 points, 7.6 rebounds, and 5.7 assists per game. It's Coral Park's Gakari LeCount. Our Broward 7A, 5A Boys Basketball Coach of the Year led his team to a 24-6 record and the Class 7A state title. It's Miramar's Tremaine Stevens. Our Miami-Dade 7A, 5A Boys Basketball Coach of the Year guided his team to a 25-5 record and a Class 7A regional final appearance. It's Mater Academy's Marcos Shaky Rodriguez.
At this time, the Orange Bowl is proud to present our second Lifetime Achievement Award of the evening. This one goes to Braddock Boys basketball coach Willie Diaz. The last chapter of the Cinderella story, 30 years in the making, lasted less than 90 minutes. It took nearly 3 decades of grinding away season after season for Coach Willie Diaz and the Braddock Boys basketball program to make the regional playoffs. Even though they packed up their lockers after losing to Coral Gables in the regional quarterfinals, nothing took away from their historic season. It was a season that saw them win their first district title, qualify for the playoffs for the first time, and play in front of a packed gym that included many of Diaz's former players who sat right behind the bench. When Marlon Medina was asked, we all wanted to be here for Coach Diaz. We were so happy for him when the team made it to the regionals because he's so deserving of this moment. But the thing about Coach was it was always about more than basketball. It was about teaching us and preparing us for life after basketball, and that's why so many of us were here tonight. When asked about his former players showing up behind the bench, Diaz got choked up with emotion after the game. It meant so much, Diaz said. Even though we didn't get the result we wanted, tonight was such a great night for Braddock basketball in so many ways. Everyone, the winner of the Miami-Dade Lifetime Achievement presented by the Orange Bowl is Braddock's Willie Diaz.
And now let's begin the fall sports. First up is girls cross country. The top runners from Miami-Dade this year were and from Broward we have this senior once again was head and shoulders above the competition this year, winning the Class 3A state title with a final time of 17 minutes, 29.44 seconds, nearly 30 seconds ahead of the next runner at state and about 45 seconds faster than the next fastest runner from Dade. The girls cross country runner of the year is Mater Academy's Valerie Lastra. Our Broward runner of the year also capped her high school cross country career with yet another state title. She crossed the finish line in 17 minutes, 43.98 seconds to win the Class 2A individual title, her third in a row and fourth since the 7th grade. It's Pinecrest's Sion Yared. Our Dade Girls Cross Country Coach of the Year produced the best team finish among county teams, placing third in Class 4A. 3 runners finished within the top 45 runners in the field. Our Girls Cross Country Coach of the Year is Lourdes Academy's Javier Hova. Our Broward Girls Cross Country Coach of the Year once again fielded far and away the best team in Class 2A. All 5 of his top runners finished in the top 20 at the state championship. Our Broward Girls Cross Country Coach of the Year is Pinecrest's Paul Bauer. Now for boys cross country. We'll start with Broward. And the top runners from Miami-Dade this year were our Broward Boys Cross Country Runner of the Year finished first at both district and regional before finishing 9th at the Class 4A state championship. It's Fort Lauderdale's Michael Fiore. Our Miami-Dade Boys Cross Country Runner of the Year had to edge out a couple of his own teammates for this award. He finished 3rd at state, running the 5K in 15 minutes, 51.16 seconds. It's Belen Jesuit's Diego Gomez. Our Broward Cross Country Coach of the Year led his team to the best finish at state in the county, 15th in Class 4A. 3 of his runners finished among the top 50 in the field. It's Fort Lauderdale's Josh Fulton. As for our Miami-Dade Cross Country Coach of the Year, his squad not only won yet another Class 3A state title, their 11th overall, they dominated the competition. All 7 of his runners finished in the top 30, including 3 in the top 5. Our Miami-Dade Boys Cross Country Coach of the Year is Belen Jesuit's Frankie Ruiz. We'll now move to girls volleyball, starting with classes 4A, 2A. From Miami-Dade, and from Broward, our Miami-Dade 4A, 2A Volleyball Player of the Year is a junior who once again was at the top of her game. She recorded 319 kills, 237 digs, 30 aces, and 21 blocks, while leading her team to a runner-up finish in Class 3A. It's Westminster Christian's Saskia Hernandez. In Broward, this senior split time between being a setter and a hitter and was successful in both roles. She dished out 536 assists, had 102 kills, 187 digs, and 53 service aces. Our Broward 4A, 2A Volleyball Player of the Year is Calvary Christian's Manaya Rui. Her team was one set away from a state title. While they didn't achieve their ultimate goal, it was still a successful season that included a 27-5 record. For that, our Miami-Dade 4A, 2A Volleyball Coach of the Year is Westminster Christian's Julie Doan Karanuma. In Broward, his team won 18-8 in his first season at the helm and pulled off upsets of both University School and Pinecrest to reach the Class 4A Regional Finals. Our Broward 4A, 2A Volleyball Coach of the Year is Coral Springs Charter's Sammy Harwell. Now we'll move to classes 7A, 5A for girls volleyball. Our representatives from Broward include and from Miami-Dade we have our Broward 7A, 5A Volleyball Player of the Year is a sophomore who led the attack for the Class 6A state runner-up team. She tallied 320 kills and added 67 digs, 25 blocks, and 39 service aces to her season stats. It's St. Thomas Aquinas' Carter Mogridge. In Miami-Dade, this senior was the focal point of her team's offense and played a heavy role in her squad, once again reaching the state semifinals. She tallied 326 kills, 173 digs, and 46 aces. The Miami-Dade 7A, 5A Girls Volleyball Player of the Year is Southwest's Amaya Morales. They didn't get the repeat state championship they were hoping for, but a 24-8 record and a Class 6A runner-up finish at state is still a solid accomplishment. That's why our Broward 7A, 5A Volleyball Coach of the Year is St. Thomas Aquinas' Lisa Zielinski. In Miami-Dade, he guided his team to a 21-6 record and a second consecutive trip to the state semifinals. Our Miami-Dade 7A, 5A Volleyball Coach of the Year is Southwest's Alain Suarez. We'll move to the pool next. First up, girls swimming and diving. Our top students from Miami-Dade this season were and from Broward we have our Miami-Dade Girls Swimmer of the Year helped her team finish third in the state by contributing in multiple events. She was the state runner-up in the 50-meter freestyle, 9th in the 100 free, and was part of 2 relays that finished as state runners-up. It's Gulliver Prep's Chloe Hernandez. We have co-Girls Swimmers of the Year in Broward. The first is an 8th grader who won Class 1A state titles in both the 50 and 100-meter freestyle. It's South Florida Heat's Erica Pelais. The second is a freshman who won state titles in the 200 individual medley and 100 backstroke and was part of 2 state-winning relay teams. It's Pinecrest Julia Podkosilny. Our Girls Swimming Coaches of the Year include the Class 2A state champion and the Class 2A third-place finisher. For Broward, it's Pinecrest Mariusz Podkosilny. For Miami-Dade, it's Gulliver Prep's Chris George. And now, for boys swimming and diving. From Broward, we have and from Miami-Dade, our Boys Swimmer of the Year in Broward is a junior who won the Class 2A title in the 200 individual medley and 100 breaststroke, won a state title as part of the 200 medley relay, and was part of his school's state runner-up 200 freestyle relay. It's Pinecrest's Joshua Hanks. In Miami-Dade, our top boys swimmer this year is a senior who won the Class 3A state title in the 100 breaststroke, won a state title as part of the 200-meter medley relay, and was part of the state runner-up 400 freestyle relay. It's Doral Academy's Carlos Nava. Hopefully our Broward Girls Swimming Coach of the Year didn't go too far. Considering both his teams won state titles, he's getting one more award here. Our Broward Boys Swimming Coach of the Year is Pinecrest Mariusz Podkosilny. As for Miami-Dade, her team finished as the state runner-up in Class 3A, claimed 2 individual state titles, and had 2 more top 3 event finishes. Our Miami-Dade Boys Swimming Coach of the Year is Doral Academy's Kathy Silveda. Next up, we'll honor our top golfers from this year. First, from Miami-Dade, and from Broward, our Miami-Dade Golfers of the Year closed their high school careers on high notes. Our Boys Golfer of the Year tied for 3rd at the Class 1A State Championship after clearing the field at both district and regional. He's off to Stanford next year. It's Ransom Everglades' Jake Bieber Frankel. Our girls golfer finished 13th at the Class 1A state championship and led all county golfers with a 72.5 stroke average in the state series. Also from Ransom Everglades, our Miami-Dade Girls Golfer of the Year is Rachel D'Angulo. Our boys golfer of the year was the individual state runner-up in the always competitive Class 2A and won his regional. It's American Heritage's Luke Clanton. Our girls golfer of the year from the county is a senior who advanced to the Class 3A state championship as an individual, went on to tie for 7th place at the event. She's heading to Tennessee. It's Coral Glades' Kayla Holden. His team had the best finish among Miami-Dade schools at the Boys State Golf Championship, holding their own with a 6th place finish in Class 3A. Our Miami-Dade Boys Golf Coach of the Year is Columbus's Michael Marinelli. For girls golf, he had the only full team qualify for the state championship, making the 16-team field in Class 3A in his first year at the helm. Our Miami-Dade Girls Golf Coach of the Year is Doral Academy's Armando Echevarria. They consistently field the top 2 teams from Broward County in Class 2A, and the duo is once again being honored. Our Broward Boys Golf Coach of the Year is American Heritage's Brant Moser, after the Patriots finished as state runners-up. Our Girls Golf Coach of the Year from the county is Archbishop McCarthy's Carl Phillips, after the Mavericks claimed the Class 2A crown. We'll now transition from the links to the lanes as we honor the top bowlers from both counties. First, from Broward. And from Miami-Dade. Our Broward Boys Bowler of the Year, a sophomore, paced the county with a .240 season average and placed 7th individually in the state tournament. It's Coral Springs Charter's Anderson Alain. Our Girls Bowler of the Year for Broward, to put it simply, set records. Her .229 season average is a state record. What's more, she's only in 8th grade. It's Coral Springs Charter's Katarina Hagler. Our Miami-Dade Boys Bowler of the Year finished as the state runner-up and led the county with a .208.24 season average. It's Palmetto's Connor Pifo. The Miami-Dade Girls Bowler of the Year led the county with a .175.6 season average and finished 23rd in the state qualifying round. It's Braddock's Alexa Hernandez. He led both of his teams to the state championship after convincing showings at the district tournament. Our Broward Bowling Coach of the Year is Coral Springs Charter's Nelson Martin. In Dade, we'll have 2 bowling coaches of the year. On the boys' side, his team finished 12th in state qualifying, and his top individual player finished 3rd overall. The boys' bowling coach of the year for Miami-Dade is Columbus's Adam Scholar. On the girls' side, this coach guided his team to state once again and saw them finish 22nd in qualifying, the highest among Miami-Dade teams. Our girls' bowling coach of the year for Miami-Dade is Tara's Ed Garland. To wrap up our individual sports awards, we move over to football. We're going to start with our top players from classes 5A, 2A. Miami-Dade's team consists of and now our Broward County representatives from classes 5A and 2A. Our Miami-Dade 5A, 2A Offensive Player of the Year was one of the leaders for one of the better feel-good team stories to come out of the county this year. The junior threw for 3,700 passing yards and 34 touchdowns while orchestrating a playoff run that ended with a Class 4A state title. It's Booker T. Washington's Tori Morrison. Our first of two Miami-Dade 5A, 2A Defensive Players of the Year didn't win a state title, but put together a strong final season of high school football. The senior had 60 tackles, including 24 tackles for loss and 19 sacks while keeping his team competitive in a stacked region. It's Gulliver Prep's Donnell Harris. Our second 5A, 2A Defensive Player of the Year from Miami-Dade, a junior, was the epitome of a ball hawk. He intercepted 9 passes to go along with his 74 total tackles for a state championship defense that held 10 of 15 opponents to fewer than 14 points. It's Northwestern's Cameron Kinchins. For our Miami-Dade Class 5A, 2A Football Coach of the Year award, we'll keep it simple. 3 state champions, 3 Coaches of the Year. Give it up for Booker T. Washington's Ben Hanks, for Northwestern's Max Edwards, and Champagne's Hector Clavijo. We'll let the numbers speak for themselves for our Broward 5A, 2A Offensive Player of the Year. 2,282 rushing yards, 28 touchdowns, 14 touchdowns in the playoffs, including 5 in the state championship game to go along with 333 rushing yards. Our Broward 5A, 2A Offensive Player of the Year is Chaminade Madonna's Thad Franklin. The county's Defensive Player of the Year, a junior, had 74 tackles and 15 sacks on the season as he helped his team to the Class 5A Regional Finals. It's American Heritage's Dallas Turner. They completed the three-peat, going 12-2 and cruising to another Class 3A state title. For that, our Broward 5A, 2A Football Coach of the Year is Chaminade Madonna's Damian Jones. And now it's Classes 8A, 6A football. First up, from Broward County, and our first teamers from Miami-Dade in Classes 8A, 6A are our Broward Class 8A, 6A Offensive Player of the Year capped his high school career with a strong senior season. He ran for 1,414 yards and added 19 touchdowns to help his team reach the Class 8A state semifinals. It's Deerfield Beach's Jalen Knighton. The county's 8A, 6A Defensive Player of the Year was one of South Florida's top recruits this cycle. He played like it too, with 52 tackles and 14 sacks while playing off the edge. It's St. Thomas Aquinas' Derek Wingo. We have 2 Broward coaches sharing the 8A, 6A Coach of the Year honors. The first guided his team to a perfect 15-0 record that included a Class 7A state title and a national championship. It's St. Thomas Aquinas' Roger Harriet. Our second did wonders in his first season as head coach, leading his team to a 12-0 start to the year before falling to eventual state champion Central in the Class 6A regional finals. It is with heavy hearts to say that he passed away on April 13th due to complications from diabetic ketoacidosis. We posthumously give the second Broward 8A, 6A Pro Football Coach of the Year award to Dillard's Eddie Frazier. Our Miami-Dade 8A, 6A Offensive Player of the Year broke onto the scene last season as a junior and followed up with another stellar season. He ran for 2,319 yards, added 28 touchdowns, and closed his prep career with an elusive state title. It's Columbus's Henry Parrish. Our Miami-Dade 8A, 6A Defensive Player of the Year also closed his high school career on a high note. He had 75 tackles, an absurd 35 tackles for loss, and 12 sacks. Like Parrish, he also won a state title. It's Central's Trevon Allen. We had 2 state champions from Miami-Dade in 8A, 6A, so their coaches will share our Coach of the Year honors. Congratulations to Columbus's Dave Dunn and Central's Roland Smith.
Hello, I am Dr. Luis Rodriguez with the Miami Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. It's my honor to present today the Courage Awards. The ceremony ended, and hundreds of mourners made their way from the bleachers at Deerfield Beach High School football stadium to the field. Candles and cell phones from family and friends, teammates and classmates, teachers and administrators, close friends and complete strangers, illuminated from a circle at the 50-yard line to celebrate the life of Bryce Gowdy, a 17-year-old football player who took his own life on December 30th, just weeks after signing a full athletic scholarship to Georgia Tech. He is remembered as an honor student, a selfless teammate, and a budding football star. I was worried that because of the way it happened, the way that he died, people would circumnavigate that those things weren't true about him, Glenn said. Despite the way that he did die, he was all of those things. The way I look at it, he wasn't able to be that strong for 1 minute, or however many seconds that it took for him to make that decision. The vigil provided one of the first steps for his family, his teammates, and his community to find closure. It's a night for us to get a kick start into healing, Glenn said. Glenn instead wanted to shine light on the international baccalaureate student, the senior who was near the top of his graduating class and who finished high school a semester early. He was a 4-star athlete, Glenn said, but he was a 5-star student. John Marlowe, who has been the principal at Deerfield Beach for 13 years, added to that, describing Gowdy's joyous personality and ability to light up a room and hold a conversation with whoever he met. He was a young man who I personally looked at as my own son, Marlowe said. When I look around the stadium here, I think he had that impact with everyone around. It's unfortunate that these things happen. It's certainly one of the most unfortunate things. But as a community, we rally around each other. We're going to remember Bryce. We're going to make his memory live. Ladies and gentlemen, our first 2020 Leo Suarez Walter Creech Courage Award goes to the Deerfield Beach football team. They say the roughest days battling cancer are about 3 or 4 days after having chemotherapy. The symptoms crush a patient in those first handful of days, and Earl Tillman Jr. was the typical patient. The Booker T. Washington coach had his latest round of chemotherapy Friday, and the last few days were difficult. His doctors didn't think he would be able to make the trip up from Miami to Daytona Beach to watch the Tornadoes play in the Class 4A title, and on that day, he could not blame him. He got permission from his doctor, though. He decided he wasn't going to miss Booker T. Washington's latest state championship bid. As the Tornadoes celebrated a 25-21 win against Jacksonville Bulls at Daytona Stadium, Tillman stood just feet away, leaning on a walker and fending off teams. Associate head coach Ben Hanks said Tillman probably spent too many days around Booker T. Washington this year, considering he has battled pancreatic cancer since March. Wednesday was maybe one of those days, but Tillman couldn't have missed it. Being around the guys, Tillman said, made me keep fighting more than anything. I wouldn't trade these guys in for the world. Jackery Brooks remembers clearly the day in the summer when Booker T. Washington first saw Tillman at his most vulnerable. The Tornadoes were in the midst of summer workouts, and Tillman, confined to a wheelchair, wheeled his way into the weight room. He couldn't have predicted what was going to come for his team in the next few months. He had spent enough time at Booker T. Washington, however, to know the system was in place for the Tornadoes to be successful no matter what. Buy into what the rest of the coaches say, Tillman told the players, and they will all be wearing medals in December. He touched us, Brooks said. We've never seen him down like that. We've never seen him so weak. So he came in here talking to us, talking about the state championship. And now we're here just because of him and his dedication. He stuck with us, Brooks said. He's still fighting. We hope he beats us. Our second 2020 Leo Suarez Walter Creech Courage Award goes to Earl Tillman of Booker T. Washington.
It is time for the big awards. First up, the Class 4A, 1A Girls Major Awards. This award normally recognizes athletic excellence in the 5 girls' major sports: volleyball, basketball, soccer, softball, and track. However, this year, because of the cancellation of spring sports, the Herald is only using the 3 sports from fall and winter: volleyball, basketball, and soccer in the tabulations. The Dade winners' highlights in these sports were a state runner-up finish in soccer, a regional semifinal appearance in basketball, and a regional appearance in volleyball. The 4A, 1A Girls Major Award goes to Carrollton School of the Sacred Heart. The Dade 7A, 5A winner took home a state title in soccer, reached the regional semifinal in volleyball, and made a playoff berth in basketball. The 7A, 5A Girls Major Sport Award winner is Our Lady of Lourdes Academy. Now for the Boys Major Sport Award. This award normally recognizes athletic excellence in the 6 boys' major sports: football, basketball, soccer, wrestling, baseball, and track. This year, only performance in football, basketball, soccer, and wrestling were included in the tabulation. We'll start with classes 4A, 1A. The winner had a state championship in soccer, a regional final appearance in basketball, and a regional semifinal appearance in football. The 4A, 1A Boys Major Sport Award goes to Gulliver Prep. In the Class 7A, 5A, the winner won a state title in football, had 2 wrestlers place at the state championship meet, and made regional playoff appearances in both basketball and soccer. The Boys Major Sport Award winner this year goes to the Columbus Explorers. Now we move to Broward. The Broward 4A, 1A Girls Major Sports Award winner finished as a state runner-up in soccer, made the state Final Four in basketball, and was a regional semifinalist in volleyball. Our 4A, 1A Girls Major Sports Award goes to Cardinal Gibbons. The 7A, 5A Girls Major Sports Award winner in Broward was a state runner-up in volleyball and reached the regional semifinals in both basketball and soccer. The award goes to St. Thomas Aquinas. Our 4A, 1A boys winner in Broward took home its 3rd consecutive state football title and made the state Final Four in basketball. Broward's 4A, 1A Major Sports Award goes to Chaminade Madonna. And now to classes 7A, 5A. They won yet another state title in football, reached the regional semis in soccer, and had a solid showing in the state wrestling tournament. Our Broward Class 7A, 5A Major Sports winner is St. Thomas Aquinas. We move on to the All Sports Awards, which recognize excellence in all sports. We will split this into 2 categories, classes 4A, 1A, and classes 7A, 5A. It's a long list of successes for the Broward winner. A state championship in girls basketball, state runner-up finishes for both boys and girls golf, regional semifinal appearances in boys soccer, girls soccer, and volleyball, a 10th place finish in boys swimming at state, a 13th place finish in girls swimming. The Broward 4A, 1A All Sports Award goes to American Heritage. And now to classes 7A, 5A. They won yet another football title, reached the regional semis in both boys and girls soccer, and had a solid showing in the state wrestling tournament. The Broward 7A, 5A Major Sports winner is St. Thomas Aquinas. The Dade winner took home a state championship in soccer, reached the regional finals in basketball, and a regional semifinal in football and girls basketball. and had top 5 finishes at state in boys swimming, girls and girls cross country. This year's Miami-Dade Class 4A 1A All Sports Award goes to Gulliver Prep. In Class 7A 5A, they were state runners-up in boys swimming and cheerleading. We're the only school in the county to field a full team in the girls golf state championship field, made the regional finals in boys soccer, and had a regional semifinal berth in volleyball. It all culminated in another all-around successful season for this school. The Class 7A 5A All Sports Award goes to the Doral Academy Firebirds. Don Shula, the winningest coach in NFL history and a South Florida icon, died on Monday, May 4th, 2020. He was an NFL head coach for 33 years and coach of the Miami Dolphins for 26 of those seasons. And to honor his legacy, the Miami Herald is renaming its overall Coach of the Year award to the Don Shula Coach of the Year Award.
Hey there, I'm Durham Smythe with the Miami Dolphins. I'd like to open by stating just how honored I am to be able to announce the Dade County Female and Male Sports Coaches of the Year. My high school athletic career consisted of some of the most important and pivotal years, not just to my athletic career, but also to my development as a person. So with that being said, I'd like to thank all of our finalists here today for really fulfilling such an important role in so many kids' lives. We start with the Dade Female Sports Coach of the Year finalists. O'Keel Swaby, Miami Country Day Basketball. Sam Baumgarten, Miami High Basketball. Ramiro Vengochea, Lourdes Soccer. After back-to-back years of heartbreak, at the last possible second, his team finally got over the hump. As he said just a few short months ago, when it was all said and done, it's not silver. This one's not silver. It's definitely not silver, Coach. Miami-Dade's Don Shula, Female Sports Coach of the Year, is Miami High's Sam Baumgarten. And the 4 contenders for the Miami-Dade Male Sports Coach of the Year are Ben Hanks, Booker T. Washington Football. Frankie Ruiz, Belen Jesuit Cross Country. Vic Balmaceda, South Dade Wrestling. And Chris Bart Williams, Gulliver Prep Soccer. When legendary coach Tim Ice Harris abruptly left to become the first coach at Florida Memorial University in August, his successor was tasked with keeping a talented team upright and ready to compete in a region that realistically had at least 5 teams that could compete for a state title. He did so much more than that. His team went 13-2, pulled off comeback after comeback, and won the Class 4A state title. The Miami-Dade Don Shula Male Sports Coach of the Year is Booker T. Washington's Ben Hanks. Congratulations.
And now to present the Broward Coaches of the Year, a member of Inter Miami.
Hi everyone, this is Luis Robles, goalkeeper and captain for Inter Miami CF. I want to say congratulations to all our athletes in Broward and Dade County for a job well done. Especially our seniors. I know this year has been a challenging one and different to say the least, but all the same characteristics that you brought to your sport over the years, I know that you'll be able to apply going forward. And all the lessons that you've learned this past year, you'll be able to not only reflect upon, but these are the lessons that are going to propel you forward to be the best versions of yourself. So once again, congrats to all of our athletes and participants. This year's finalists for the Broward Female Sports Coach of the Year are Marius Podkaselny from Pinecrest Swimming, Carl Phillips from Archbishop McCarthy Golf, Mike Sika from Archbishop McCarthy Soccer, J.R. McNabb from Blanche Eli Basketball. Just like the Dade Coach of the Year, this coach finally got his team to the finish line. A year ago, their perfect season crashed down when it mattered most, not this year. This time, they won their state title, the program's first for its sport, coming on 10 years after he took over as head coach. The Broward Don Shula Female Sports Coach of the Year is Archbishop McCarthy's Mike Sika. Congratulations. And now for this year's male finalists. Roger Harriet from St. Thomas Aquinas Football, Thiago Oliveira from University School Soccer, and Terrence Williams from Stranahan Basketball. This coach has put together some top teams over the past few years, but none quite like the one he had this year. An undefeated season, a state championship, a national championship, perfection. Our Don Shula Male Sports Coach of the Year for Broward County is St. Thomas Aquinas' Roger Harriet. Congratulations.
To help us recognize the Broward County Overall Athletes of the Year, a member of the Florida Panthers.
Hey, Broward County student athletes. I'm sorry you couldn't have a formal graduation. As an athlete, I'm honored to be able to speak with you this morning, and I want to congratulate everyone nominated in this year's awards. Doug Plagans will help us hand out the awards now.
Thanks, Aaron. We're ready to get into those nominees. The 4 Broward County finalists for the 4A-1A Female Athlete of the Year are Julia Podkoshelny, Pinecrest; Katarina Hagler, Coral Springs Charter Bowling; Sion Yared, Pinecrest Cross Country; Sydney Polivka, Cardinal Gibbons. We'll do our best to list off all the Broward 4A-1A Female Athlete of the Year's accomplishments. 4 individual state titles in cross country, including this year. A 6-time medalist at the state title meet. A member of 3 state champion cross country teams, including this year. A 2-time state champion in the 3,200 meter run in track and field. A 3-time Florida Dairy Farmer winner, the only Floridian to qualify for the Nike Cross Country Nationals and the 2019 Florida Gatorade Player of the Year for cross country. The Broward 4A-1A Female Athlete of the Year is Pinecrest's Sion Yared. Next up, we'll award the Male Athletes of the Year for classes 4A-1A. First up, the nominees from Broward County. Thad Franklin, Chaminade Madonna. Josh Hanks, Pinecrest. Sebastian Nino Smith, University School. We've already heard about his accomplishments on the gridiron, but the Class 4A-1A Male Athlete of the Year also had a solid season on the basketball court, averaging 8.9 points, 2.7 rebounds, and 1.8 assists per game on a team that reached the state semifinals. Add those together, and they give you the makings of our Athlete of the Year. It's Chaminade Madonna's Thad Franklin. The finalists for the Broward Class 7A-5A Female Athlete of the Year are Megan Morgan, Cypress Bay; Kayla Holden, Coral Glades; Carter Mogridge, St. Thomas Aquinas. All season, she was the engine of the offense. Opponents knew she was getting the ball. They knew she was going to strike, and they still couldn't stop her. 32 goals, 13 assists. She did her part to help her team get to a place they had only been once before, the state championship game. The Broward 7A-5A Female Athlete of the Year, Cypress Bay's Megan Morgan. The nominees for Broward's Class 7A-5A Male Athlete of the Year are Ashton Cooper, Pembroke Pines Charter; Jalen Knighton, Deerfield Beach; Dallas Graziani, Pembroke Pines Charter; Derek Wingo, St. Thomas Aquinas. He's among Broward County's elite. He's one of just 3 in the country's history to tally more than 5,000 rushing yards in a high school career, and he did it in the highest classification. He helped his team reach the state semifinals 3 times in his 4 years, and he's already enrolled at the University of Miami. The Broward 7A-5A Male Athlete of the Year is Deerfield Beach's Jalen Knighton.
And now, to help us honor the overall Athletes of the Year, a member of the Miami Marlins.
Hello to all the student athletes watching today. Congratulations for your success thus far. We are proud of all your accomplishments and look forward to seeing you continue to unlock all the greatness that lies within each of you. The finalists from Miami-Dade for the 4A-1A Female Athlete of the Year are Saskia Hernandez, Westminster Christian Volleyball; Amari Hunter, Keys Gate Basketball; Chloe Hernandez, Gulliver Prep Swimming. She filled up the stat sheet seemingly every game and was the driving force of her team's postseason run. Not just this year, we're talking 3 years in a row now. That persistence and consistency got them the farthest they have been since she stepped onto the court, one set away from winning a state championship. The 4A-1A Female Athlete of the Year for Miami-Dade is Westminster Christian Saskia Hernandez. The contenders from Miami-Dade for the 4A-1A Male Athlete of the Year are Jake Beber Franco, Ransom Everglades; Tori Morrison, Booker T. Washington; Gabe Taylor, Gulliver Prep. The Miami-Dade 4A-1A Male Athlete of the Year was a two-time first-team Miami Herald All-County recipient this year. In football, he had 9 interceptions. In basketball, he averaged 22.1 points and 5.9 rebounds per game. The Miami-Dade 4A-1A Male Athlete of the Year is Gulliver Prep's Gabe Taylor. The 3 finalists for the Miami-Dade 7A, 5A Female Athlete of the Year are Valerie Lastra, Mater Academy; Colleen Bucknor, Miami High; Mia Atrio, Lourdes. The Miami-Dade 7A, 5A Female Athlete of the Year has been a staple in her team's success for each of the last 3 years. She scored 91 goals over the last 3 seasons and was a key reason they won 2 state championships in that span, including this year. The Miami-Dade 7A, 5A Female Athlete of the Year is Lourdes' Mia Atrio. And now, the 7A, 5A Male Athlete of the Year for Miami-Dade. The contenders are Carlos Nava, Doral Academy; Henry Parrish, Columbus; Bradley Reina, South Dade. What a career this student athlete has had. 4 first-time All-County honors in 2 sports. More than 6,000 rushing yards in football over the last 3 years, and a key member on the track's team 4x100 meter relay. He will continue his football career at Ole Miss. The 7A, 5A Miami-Dade's Male Athlete of the Year is Columbus's Henry Parrish.
Greg, thank you for hosting us for this great event.
Alex, the pleasure was mine.
To all the honorees, our heartiest congratulations for a job well done. We especially want to thank all of the athletic directors and principals who participated in making this a success. Thanks to all the athletes, parents, and coaches for another outstanding season. On behalf of the Miami Herald Media Company, Baptist Health, South Florida's Miami Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, the Orange Bowl Committee, we thank you for joining us today. Have a great summer and see you in the fall.